Good morning, Calvary students and families. I'm actually coming to you. It's Tuesday morning, and I am up in Georgia at my parents' house, getting ready to head back to Florida. I know I didn't. You guys didn't see me last week. I've had a lot going on for a couple weeks. I had my in-laws and my parents were all in town for 2 full weeks, and it was fun. It was great. We were kind of quarantined together. Everybody had been self isolated, and then we decided, hey, come on down. It was my birthday week, and we just had a great time. My in-laws bought a house in Florida. That's why they came down. My mom and dad came down for a couple of reasons. One, to get away, and my dad was helping me with a job that I had to do. So it was an intense couple of weeks, if you want to say intense, but we weren't camping. So anyway, I was thinking about after being gone for a week, it's kind of weird. I always feel like it's been a month if I miss a week. But I was thinking about Pastor Willie's message this past Sunday, and he spoke a lot about hope and what hope is and why we have hope. And I told Laura, my wife, that during the last several weeks that this verse keeps coming back to my mind. I've read over it. I've thought on it. I don't really know why God keeps bringing it back to my mind, but maybe it's for encouragement this morning. I don't know. Maybe you need to hear it. Maybe I needed to hear it. Maybe I've needed to hear it, and will continue to need to hear it. But in 1 Peter chapter 3, starting in verse 13, this is what we read. It says, "Who's going to harm you if you are eager to do good?" Hey, Leland. I know. Sorry, kids. It says, "Who is going to harm you if you are eager to do good? But even if you should suffer for what is right, you are blessed." And I think that's the first place I want to stop, because it's kind of a rhetorical question. Who's gonna hurt you if you're eager to do good? Like, nobody can stop you from doing good. The only people that can stop us from doing good really are ourselves. We make choices, we make decisions to change the way that we do things, change the way that we view things, and change the way that we act. And for various reasons. So we make choices to stop doing good. It says, "Who's going to harm you if you do good? But even if you suffer for doing what is right, you are blessed." Or even if you suffer for what is right, you are blessed. And so here, what he's telling us here is, like, it's actually a blessing if we are suffering for what is right. And sorry, I had something popped up on my screen here, and hoping it didn't mess up the video. But we are blessed when we suffer for what is right. So I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't even really know what that looks like for me. It's hard for me to look at my life compared to the lives of a lot of people that I know and love, and people who have lived on the mission field, people who are on the mission field, and say that I've suffered for doing what is good. But that's not to take away from maybe the suffering we have had, because I think everyone's suffering is real, and the magnitudes and the degrees of it may look different from our perspectives, but they're suffering nonetheless. But he says, even if you suffer for what is right, you are blessed. And then he says this, he says, "Do not fear their threats. Do not be frightened. But in your hearts, revere Christ as Lord." And check this out. "Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have." So this is kind of where I wanted to focus for just a minute. He says, always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give a reason for the hope that you have. So my question, my challenge, my encouragement is, has anyone asked you for a reason? Has anyone ever said, "Hey, how do you do it? Why do you do it? What makes you different? Why are you different?" Like, has anyone ever said that? And if so, are you prepared to give an answer for the hope that is in you? Are you prepared to explain to them that hope is not a wish? Hope is not, "Oh, I hope I get this for Christmas," or "I hope I get this for my birthday," or "I hope I get this for graduation, seniors. I hope I get into this college." That's not what hope is. We use hope kind of loosely as a term to say, "Well, I wish I would get this," or "I wish I would get that." But biblical hope is not a wish. It is a knowledge of certainty. It is a belief, a firm foundation that something will come to pass. So have people asked you why you have hope? And are you able to give a reason for the hope that is in you? Are you able to explain to someone, "I have a rock, and his name is Jesus. I have faith in Jesus that he is who he says he is, that he will do what he says he does, or what he says he'll do, and that it's not just hope for an eternity in heaven, and hope for not going to a place called hell, but it is hope for life on this side of heaven. It's hope for life now. It's hope for what God will do, what He can do, what he has done already. And so only you know what you've seen God do in your life. I mean, I can look at your life and I can say, yeah, this was God at work, or I think this was God at work. But you know when there are things in your life that are only explainable by the grace of God, by the power of God. And so are you ready to give a reason for the hope that is in you? I love that we've been going through the book of Acts. It's one of my favorite books, if not my favorite book in all of Scripture. And Acts is such an interesting book the way it's written. But the believers in Acts, we see them firsthand. We see what happens when people start to do harm to other people for doing good, and then we see the rebuttal. We see the response of Peter and John. We see the response of Stephen, who gave his life, who was martyred. We see the response of the believers in the face of harm, and we see their clear and concise response is they give a reason for the hope that is in them. And so this morning, my question, my encouragement is, what is the reason for the hope that you have? And here's the second part of that, is if you don't have hope, if you're floundering right now and you feel hopeless, why is that? And do you need to either reconnect your life and your heart to where Jesus is, or maybe you've never accepted Jesus. Maybe accepting Jesus is a step that you need to take. And so if that's you, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to any of our pastors. My email, I give this most weeks. My email is nmendenhall@calvary.us. My phone number is 770-841-0998. You can text me, you can call, you can email. But do you have a reason for hope? And if you don't, let's talk about that. Why? What's keeping you from putting your faith and trust in Jesus? What's keeping you from believing on the God who sent His Son to live a perfect life, to be sinless, to be the spotless lamb that was crucified and sacrificed, paid the penalty for the sin that I deserve, for the sin that we all deserve. And so anyway, what's keeping you from that? So I love you guys. I miss you guys. I'm hoping that sooner than later, we're able to do some stuff in person and get together. I think that's going to be phenomenal. I know it'll be phenomenal. But until then, I'm taking a trip for the next couple of days. I am headed back to Florida, but I'm taking a trip for a few days. I'm pretty excited about that. And listen, if you need anything, reach out. I'm here. I love you guys, and God's got big things planned, and we're already seeing some of these big things come to fruition through kind of the uncertainty that we've had. And who knows what the future holds? He does. I don't. But what I do know is who holds the future, and I know that's kind of a cliche thing. And so, but I trust Him, and I hope you do too. And I hope you're able to give a reason for that trust, a reason for that hope. Don't forget, we have services on Sundays, 9:30 and 11. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on Instagram at 7 p.m. Wednesday night is our global student ministry gathering. And then you have your small groups to connect to on various nights of the week. If you don't know when your small group is meeting and you haven't connected with your small group in 2 months, please reach out. We've been sending out emails, we've been sending out texts, we've been sending out information every way we know how to get you connected to your small group. But we still have people, I think, that are saying, hey, we don't know when our small group's meeting. It's because either we don't have accurate information for you, or you haven't checked your email or texts or whatever. So anyway, hey, love you guys. I will see you soon, and I look forward to hearing from some of you guys. Love you. Bye.